गोपीजन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन प्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन प्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी जय यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे हे राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे हे जय जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्री प्रभुपाद की जगन्नाथ भगवान की जय नरसिंह भगवान की जय पंच तत्व की श्री गोस्वामी की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Naranarana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So Hare Krishna Prabhu Mataji, welcome all of you for this Srimad Bhagavatam session. So just share the screen for the verse we will be discussing today. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 7th chapter, verse number 39. So first let us recite the verse and Jagadutpavasthiti layeshu daivato बहुविद्यमान गुणयात्ममायया रचितात्मभेद मते स्वसंस्थया विनिवर्तित भ्रम गुणात्मने नमः जगदुद्भवस्थिति लयेषु दैवतो बहुविद्यमान गुणयात्ममायया रचितात्मभेद मते स्वसंस्थया विनिवर्तित भ्रम गुणात्मने नमः जगदुद्भवस्थिति लयेषु दैवतो भवविद्यमान गुणयात्ममायया विचितात्मभेद मते स्वसंस्थया विनिवर्तित भ्रम गुणात्मने नमः. Anyone wants to recite?
Can I, Prabhuji?
Hare
Yes, Mataji.
Jagat udbhavasthiti layeshu daivato bahubhidyamana gunayatmamayaya rachitatmabheda mataye swasamsthaya vinivartita brahma gunatmane namaha. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad Guruji.
Anybody else wants to one more?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, please.
जगत् उद्भव स्थितितलयेषु दैवतो बहु भिद्यमान गुणयात्ममायया रचितात्मभेद मतये स्वसंस्थया विनिवर्तित भ्रमगुणात्मने नमः. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Go to now synonyms, word to word meaning. Jagat, the material world. Udbhava, creation. Sthiti, maintenance. Layeshu, in annihilation. Daivataha, the destiny. Bahu, many. Vidyamana, being variegated. Gunaya, by material qualities. Atma Mayaya, by his material energy. Rachita, produced. Atma, in the living entities. Bheda Mataye, who produced different inclinations. Swasamsthaya, by his internal potency. Vinivartita, caused to stop. Brahma, interaction. Guna, of material boards. Atmane, unto him in his personal form. Namaha, obeisances. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Please hear the translation and purport. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme, who has created varieties of manifestations and put them under the spell of the three qualities of the material world in order to create, maintain, and annihilate them. He himself is not under the control of the external energy in his personal feature. In his personal feature, he is completely devoid of the variegated manifestation of material qualities, and he is under no illusion of false identification. But two situations are described in these words. One is the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the material world, and the other is the Lord's own establishment. There is also quality in the Lord's own establishment, the kingdom of God. It is stated here that Goloka is his personal situation. There is also quality in Goloka, but that quality is not divided into creation, maintenance, and annihilation. In the external energy, the interaction of three qualities makes it possible for things to be created, maintained, and annihilated. But in the spiritual world or the kingdom of God, there is no such exhibition, since everything is eternal, sentient, and blissful. There is a class of philosophers who misunderstand the appearance of the personality of Godhead within this material world. They are under the impression that when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears, he is under the spell of the three qualities, like all the other living entities who appear within this material world. That is their misunderstanding. As it is clearly stated here, Swasamstaya, by his internal potency, he is transcendental to all these material qualities. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, I appear by my internal potency. So both internal and external potencies are under the control of the Supreme. So it does not come under the control of either of these potencies. Rather, everything is under his control. In order to manifest his transcendental name, form, quality, past tense, and paraphernalia, he brings into action his internal energy. On account of the variegatedness of the external potency, There are manifestations of many qualitative demigods, beginning with Brahma and Lord Shiva, and people are attracted to these demigods according to their own material quality. But when one is transcendental or surpasses the material qualities, he is simply fixed in the worship of the Supreme Personality. This fact is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone engaged in the service of the Lord is already transcendental to the variegatedness and interaction of the three material qualities. The summary is that the conditioned souls are being pulled by action and reaction of the material qualities, which create a differentiation of energies. But in the spiritual world, the worshipable one is the Supreme Lord and no one else. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Gyan Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamelam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Saganarugunatamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishaka He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Grishya Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yonta Pravishya Mamavacham Imam Prasuptam Sanjeevayati Akila Shakti Dharaswadhamna Anyam Chahasta Charana Shravanatvagādīn Prana Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Mukam Karoti Vanchan Pangam Langiram Tatkapatamam Namo Vishnu 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 Srimati Mahavishnu Swami Namani Namo Vishnu 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 Hirusha Shona Vastavis Jai Krishna Nityananda Shri Advaita text. So Hare Krishna Prabhu's Mataji again welcome to this glorious Srimad Bhagavatam session. And today is 2nd of October 2024. So we will be discussing verse number 4739 today, as has been given the opportunity for discussing this wonderful verse. See, this chapter is entitled The Sacrifice Performed by Daksha. See, in this chapter, we can see beautiful verses, beautiful prayers given by various entities. That is from verse number 26 till 47. Like Daksha is praying in the 26th verse, the priests are praying 27th, then Lord Shiva 29, like that, no? So this 39th verse is by the great mystics. In fact, 38 also was by them. So 38 and 22 verses. So 38 was discussed yesterday by Uttam Damodar Prabhu. So today we'll be discussing this 39th verse. See, Maitri Muni is telling, after Lord Vishnu was glorified by all present, all these, in the 48th verse, after all seeing all these prayers, Maitri Muni is telling, after Lord Vishnu was glorified by all this, all who were present there. So Daksha, his consciousness became purified. So he arranged to begin again the yajna, which was devastated by the followers of Lord Shiva, right? So we saw in this this translation where it says, we offer our respectful obeisance unto the Supreme. So the mystics, they are telling, we offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme, who has created varieties of manifestations and put them under the spell of the three qualities of the middle world in order to create, maintain, and annihilate. So we saw in the purport also that two situations are described in this verse. One is the creation, maintenance, annihilation of the middle world, right? And second is the Lord's own establishment. And in the Lord's own establishment, the quality is also there also in the kingdom of God. And it is stated that Goloka is his personal situation. And there is also quality in Goloka, but that quality is not divided into creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So it is not there in the spiritual world, these three things. But whereas the external energy, the interaction of the three qualities makes it possible for things to be created, maintained, and annihilated. But in the spiritual world, or the kingdom of God, there is no such exhibition because everything is eternal, sentient, and blissful. See, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one. So, unaffected by the conditions of the middle world, he creates all the conditioned souls by his own personal potency, right? Internal potency. Now, because of being contaminated by the middle energy, what happens? The living entity is put into ignorance and therefore into different conditions of bondage. Sometimes by knowledge, the living entity is given liberation. Otherwise, it's in ignorance. That's why you say, Om Agyan Timrandasya, right? I'm born in the darkest tree of ignorance, right? See, the question may be raised, why the living entities are situated in different conditions? And who has arranged this? So the answer is that it has been done by Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, without anyone's help also. Right? So the Lord has his own energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividheva Shruyate. And one of them, namely the external energy, creates the material world and also the varieties of happiness and distress for the conditioned souls under the supervision of the Lord. See, the material world consists of three modes of material nature. Sattva guna, Rajo guna, and Tamo guna. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. So by Sattva guna, the Lord, he maintains the material world. By Rajo guna, he creates it. And by Tamo guna, he annihilates it. See, after the varieties of living entities are created, no, they are subject to happiness and distress according to their association. So when they are in Sattva guna, the mode of goodness, they feel happiness. When in Rajo guna, they are distressed. And when they are in Tamo guna, they have no sense of what to do or what is right or what is wrong. So Krishna, by his own energy, he creates, maintains, and annihilates the whole cosmic manifestation by different names and forms, right? So although he creates varieties of manifestations through his energy, he is unaffected by all these actions. He is not affected. He creates, but he does not affected by this. Because although he is transcendental to this entire metal creation and is supreme lord of all living entities, right? So what happens is the Lord appears in this earth by his internal potency. For what purpose? To protect the devotees and destroy the miscreants. Paritrana sadhanam vinashaya cha dushkrita. So by such an appearance, he re-establishes. What does he re-establish? The principles of eternal religion. Because with the human society, they are forgotten. Forgotten by what? By long association with the material energy. So the Lord is a creator of the Varna and Ashrama also. The spiritual orders and social orders, right? According to quality and work, guna and karma, right? And when these orders are misguided by unscrupulous persons, the Lord appears and sets them right. So in the current 39 verse, the translation, he says, he himself is not under the control of the external energy. So he is creating. In fact, one of the Chatushloki Bhagavatam verse, 2933, Aham evasam evagri. So he says, he himself is not under the control of the external energy. In his personal feature, he is completely devoid of variegated manifestation of middle qualities. And is under no illusion of false identification. Nothing. See, even in fact, in the same purport, Prabhupada very nicely mentions, there is a class of philosophers who misunderstand the appearance of personal Godhead within this material world. It's because they are under the impression that when the Supreme Personality Godhead appears, he is under the spell of the three qualities. Like all other living entities who appear in this material world. They think like that. That is their misunderstanding. Because it is clearly stated in this verse, Swa Samstaya, by his internal potency. Swa Samstaya, by his internal. He is transcendent to all these material qualities. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I appear by my internal potency. So both the internal and the external potencies are under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he does not come under the control of either of these potencies. So everything is under his control. He doesn't come under that. Everything is under his control. Correct. See, the living entity is the eternal servant of Krishna. So, being part and parcel of Krishna is constitutionally pure. But how the purity goes off? Due to the contact with material energy. Because he identifies himself with the either the gross or the subtle material body. So, such identification is actually certainly false, right? It's not true, it's not correct. And it constitutes the genuine, and this will constitute the platform for that. Something Prabhupada says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 6.173 purport, that this identification, which is false, it constitutes a genuine platform of the theory of illusion. See, the living entity, the soul, is eternal. It can never be subjected to the limits of time, right? As is gross and subtle bodies are. So the cosmic manifestation is never false. Huh? It is subject to change by the influence of the time factor. See, for a living entity to accept this cosmic manifestation of the field for his sense of enjoyment is actually illusory. So this middle world is the manifestation of the material energy of Krishna. And this is explained in Krishna by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 7.4. Bhumirapana vayuhu khammano buddhirevacha ahankareti yamme bhinna prakriti rashtadha. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All these constitute my separated material energies. All these eight, right? So the material world is the inferior energy of the Supreme Personality God. Material world is the inferior. But it's not a fact. It is not a fact that Supreme Lord has been transformed into this material world. You know, the Mayavadi philosophers, they are devoid of true understanding. And by what happens, they have confused the theory of illusion and the theory of cosmic manifestation by a lot of word jugglery, right? To confuse people also. Actually, the theory of illusion can be applied to a person who identifies himself with the body. The moment you identify, you're in illusion. So the living entity is actually the living entity soul is the superior energy of Spring, not Krishna. And the material world is the inferior energy. This we should be clear. So both, however, are Prakriti, but both are Prakriti energy. And although the energy are simultaneously one with the Lord and different from him, the Lord never loses his personal form due to the transformation of his energies. He can create various energies, but he is the same. Nothing reduces, right? And in the same verse, purport, Prabhupada further says, in order to manifest his transcendental name, form, quality, pastimes, and paraphernalia, he brings into action his internal energy. So to manifest this name, form, he brings into action his internal energy. So on account of variegatedness of external potency, there are manifestations of many qualitative demigods, which he says beginning with Brahma and Lord Shiva. And Prabhupada very nicely says that people are attracted to these demigods according to their own material quality. But when one is transcendental or surpasses the material qualities, then he is simply fixed in the worship of the Supreme Personality Lord Krishna. See, this fact is also very nicely explained in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone engaged in service of the Lord is already transcendental to the variegatedness and interaction of three material qualities. And the last para, Prabhupada says, the summary is that the conditioned souls are being pulled by the action and reaction of the material qualities, right? Sometimes goodness, sometimes passion. Morning we get goodness, slowly it transfers into passion by the life. Evening it is ignorance. And in fact, throughout the day also it will be just permutations and combinations of these three. So which create differentiation of energies. But in the spiritual world, the worshipable one is Supreme Lord Krishna, no one else. So he spoke about demigods right here. See, even if someone is worshipping demigods with faith, whatever benefits they get from the demigods, they are bestowed by Krishna only. So in Bhagavad Gita verse 7.22, Krishna says, Mayeva vihitan hitan. He says that I am giving that. And in further in 9.23 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, those who are devotees of other gods, and who worship them with faith, actually worship only me. But they do so in a wrong way. He uses the word avidhi purvakam. So it is not sanctioned by me, Krishna says. So if he or she hears the Mahamantra, then it is 100% chance they will be liberated. So this is the point to understand with regard to the demigods. They need to just stop. Somebody is muted. Sorry. Hare Krishna. Swayambhava Mataji, can you mute yourself? Hare Krishna. Thank you. See, Shukadeva Goswami, while explaining about pure devotional service, which definitely would bring a change in our heart, right? He says in Bhagavatam 2:3:10, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo udaradihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the personality of Godhead. So, irrespective of the type of desire one has, be it spiritual or material, everything is sanctioned only by Krishna. So, a wise person who understands this truth, you definitely surrender to Krishna and serve him with love. So, this is the point to understand, right? Everything is any desire, spiritual or material, right? Everything is sanctioned by Krishna only. So, you have to be wise, intelligent, understand this truth, and then surrender. So, the intelligence of such persons are classified as Udaradhihi or broader intelligence. In this verse, right, Krishna is the source of all intelligence. And those who worship in this mood, they will definitely be of broader intelligence. And opposite of Udaradhihi is Hritagyana. Intelligence of one who has lost his senses, right? Hritagyana. That's why in 7.20 Krishna explains about the people who surrender to demigods. Kamaisteshter Hritagyana prapadyante anya devataha. Tam tam niyamam asthaya prakritya niyata swaya. So those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender to demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. 7.20 Bhagavad Gita says. The Hritagyana worship, that is different demigods, because they are influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance. But they do not understand one cannot attain the desired result without the sanction of the Supreme Personality of Krishna. As it is mentioned in 7.22, where he says, endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. That's what Krishna says. See, just like how the ministers of various departments, like PWD or Railway Department, Finance Department, they execute their work under the sanction of the Prime Minister. So all demigods execute the orders of the Supreme Lord. So nothing can happen without his sanction. People who don't know this eternal truth are called Hritagyana. So the pure devotees of the Lord have the real knowledge that after many, many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. Knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is such a great soul is very rare. So Bahunam Janmanamante Gyanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Su Durlava. So therefore, a person with broader intelligence or outlook, he can see the Supreme Lord is his ultimate authority, even for the material benefit. So even if he has a desire for material enjoyment or liberation, he must worship the Lord directly. Right? In fact, in 9.23 also, the translation proposes is those who are devotees of other gods, right? We saw, and who worship them with faith, actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. So the persons who are engaged in the worship of demigods are not very intelligent. In the purport of this 9.2, the Prabhupada says, persons who are engaged in the worship of demigods are not very intelligent. Although such worship is offered to me directly, Krishna says. So for example, when a man, he pours water on the leaves and branches of a tree, without pouring water on the root, he does so without sufficient knowledge or without observing the regulative principles. So similarly, the process of rendering service to different parts of the body is to supply food to the stomach, correct? So demigods are, so to speak, different officers and directors in the government of the Supreme Lord. So one has to follow the laws made by the government, not by the officers or directors. So similarly, everyone is to offer his worship to the Supreme Lord only. So that will automatically satisfy the different officers and directors of the Lord. That is demigods. So officers and directors are engaged as representatives of the government. And to offer some bribe to the officers and directors is illegal. So this is stated as Avidhi Purvakam. That means, in other words, Krishna does not approve the unnecessary worship of the demigods, as given in the purport by Srila Prabhupada of 9.23 Bhagavad Gita. In Chaitanya Charitam Adi Lila 4.62, Prabhupada says, in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam 10.27.4, Lord Indra praises Krishna. Vishuddha Sattvam Tavadama Shantam Tapomayam Dhvasta Rajastamaskam Maya Mayamoyam Gunasam Pravaho Navidyate Grahananubandhana Bandha. My dear Lord, your abode is Vishuddha Sattva, always undisturbed by the mental qualities. And the activities are there are in transcendental loving service unto your lotus feet. One is more goodness, above that, pure goodness, Vishuddha Sattva. So goodness, austerity and penance of the devotees, it enhances such activities, and which are always free from contamination of passion and ignorance. So material qualities cannot touch you under any circumstances. So when not manifested, the modes of mental nature are said to be in goodness. So when they are externally manifested and active in producing the varieties of material existence, they are said to be in passion. Understood? See, when it's not manifested, the modes of mental nature are said to be in goodness. And when they are externally manifested and active in producing varieties of mental existence, they are said to be in passion. And when there is a lack of activity and variegatedness, they are said to be in ignorance. So the pensive mood is goodness, activity is passion, and inactivity is ignorance. So above all these mundane qualitative manifestations is Vishuddha Sattva. And when it is predominated by, Prabhupada says in this purport, when it is predominated by Sandhini potency, it is perceivable as the existence of all that be. And when predominated by Samvit potency, it is perceived as knowledge in transcendence. And when predominated by the Ladini potency, it is perceived as the most confidential love of Godhead. So all internal potency based on that it is coming out. So Vishuddha Sattva, the simultaneous manifestation of these three in one. That is Sandhini, Samvit and Ladini. So Vishuddha Sattva, simultaneous manifestation of these three in one is the main feature of the kingdom of God. So the absolute truth is therefore the substance of reality eternally manifest in these three energies. So the manifestation of the internal energy of the Lord is inconceivably variegated in spiritual world. You cannot conceive at all. And the manifestation of marginal energy comprises the living entities. And the manifestation of external energy is the material cosmos. So therefore, the absolute truth includes these four principles. The Supreme Personality of God himself, his internal energy, his marginal energy, and his external energy. So the form of the Lord and the expansions of his form as Swayam, Rupa, and Vaibhava Prakasha are directly enjoys of the internal energy, which is the external exhibit of the spiritual world, most confidential of the manifestations of energy. So the external manifestation, that is the material energy, it provides the covering bodies of the conditioned living entities, from Brahma to down to the insignificant ant. So this covering energy is manifested under the three modes of material nature and appreciated in various ways by living entities in both higher and lower forms of life. So each of these three divisions of the internal potency, Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladini energies, influences one of the external potencies by which the conditioned souls are conducted. So such influence manifests the three qualitative modes of material nature. If we're proving definitely that the living entities, they are the marginal potency and are eternally servitors of the Lord, and they are therefore controlled by either the internal or the external potency. See, material world means the three qualities. So material world is going on under these three energies, Sattva, Raja, and Tama. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So we see the variety of living entities, right? Because of these varieties of, see, everything. See, anywhere you go, you simply find varieties. See, some of them you like, some of them you don't like. So these varieties are due to these three material modes of nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas. So when the creation has taken place, okay, the things should be managed properly. Okay, creation has taken place. Now they should manage properly. So Krishna himself, he expands into three forms of management. One is Lord Vishnu, one is Lord Shiva, and the other one is Lord Brahma. Brahma creates, Lord Vishnu maintains, and Lord Shiva annihilates. So Srishti, creation. See, everything is creation. See, that is our experience, right? Everything is created and it is maintained for some time. See, just like one's body, the body is created. It will be maintained for some time. But at the end, when the body is old, it will be destroyed. So that is the material nature. See, some of the philosophers, no, they say that there is no such thing. Creation or destruction, everything is existing always. That everything is existing always means Krishna. That's what they are. So the creation is going through three stages. Creation taking place, it is being maintained for some time, and again it is destroyed. These things are going on. So the creator is existing, but not the creation. Very important point to understand. The creator is existing, not the creation, because it's maintained and then automatically destroyed. So creation is coming into existence, sustained, and then again destroyed. But the creator is always there. Aham evasam evagre. Lord Krishna says that before creation I was there. So otherwise, who will create? Before creation I was there. So while creation is maintained, I am there. And when it is destroyed, still I am there. After annihilation also is there. So in these three stages, Krishna is there in the past, present, and future. Therefore, Krishna knows everything. So he says, if I under my direction something is going, I have created something, it is maintained and it is destroyed. So I am seeing, I am ordering, then I am always existing. I know when it is created, when it is maintained, and when it is destroyed. Not me, Krishna, right? So Krishna knows past, present, and future. So Krishna does not mean alone. Krishna means there is another kingdom. Just like when we speak of a king, it means the king is not alone. There is a queen, there is a palace, there is bodyguard, secretary, commander in chief, so many things. So similarly, when we speak of Krishna, Krishna means his name, form, quality, activities, pastime, friends, mother, father, right? Cows, Vrindavan, so many things. There is another variety. So this material world, this is variety, right? This variety in material world is imitation of that supreme spiritual world. And that variety is eternal in spiritual world. Whereas this variety is created, maintained, and destroyed. But the center point is Krishna. He is ever existing. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Urdhva Moolam Adashakam, 15.1 Bhagavad Gita. Just like a tree standing on the shore of near the water, right? You find a reflection of the tree downwards. Everything is topsy-turvy. See, the trunk, the root is on upside. And the foliage, no? The leaves and everything is. So that has come down. So similarly, this material world is described in Bhagavad Gita, in the 15th chapter, first verse, Urdhva Moolam Adashakam. See, generally we see tree downwards. The root is down, right? But in the reflection, you find the roots upward. Urdhva Moolam Adashakam means these material varieties are simply an imitation of the original variety. Just like, see, Kumbh Mela and all, the great fair is going to happen, right? When it used to happen, no? So government know that many people will come to take bath in the Ganges. So suddenly they create, everything is developed and great cities is developed. Like so many houses, camp, electric light, right? Everything is created. But they are all temporary, created temporarily. As soon as the whole thing, Mela is over, right? As the duration of the Mela is finished, all the people go away. And the temporary township is also demolished. That we know. We can understand, right? Similarly, this middle world means it's a kind of fair. The assembly of so many men. What is the purpose? Purpose of this middle creation is to give everyone a chance, just as the Mela is a chance to become purified, to become pious, because they take bath in the Ganges. They get an opportunity, an auspicious moment to take bath. So like that, living in it is what? Eternally conditioned. And some of them are eternally liberated, right? So the eternally liberated souls, they are with Krishna. They are dancing with Krishna. because they have no other desire than to satisfy Krishna. So that is the difference between eternal condition and eternally liberated. So eternally liberated means they have no other desire. So similarly with that, like that Mela, no, once it's over, everything is wound up, done. So they take bath, they get purified. So that's why this middle world is also created, so that we can get the nectar of Krishna Katha, associate with devotees, and then come back to Godhead. So purify ourselves. All these gopis, cowherd boys, cows, the trees, right? Water, father, mother, friends, they are simply trying to satisfy Krishna in Vrindavan, right? That is Vrindavana. See, they have no other business. This center point is Krishna. So in this middle world, everyone is trying to satisfy himself. His center is he himself. Therefore, he is exploiting others. He is cheating others. So because he wants to enjoy himself, that's all. That is the difference between spiritual world and material world. So if you want to satisfy yourself, your senses, that is material. And if you want to satisfy Krishna, Krishna's senses, then it is spiritual. This is the difference. So either do it here or go to Vaikuntha Goloka. Do there. The business is the same. Satisfy Krishna. So this is a chance. These conditions who come to this middle world to enjoy senses, they are given a chance. All right, you enjoy. You want to enjoy as a human being? All right, take a body of human being. If you want to enjoy like a tiger, all right, take the body. If you want to enjoy as a demigod, all right, take a body. So Krishna is so liberal. Take and enjoy as you like, but you will never be happy. This is a crucial point to understand. If you want to be happy, then surrender unto me. This is the point, very important point. See, you cannot manufacture your happiness. That is not possible. Therefore, this creation is there. Why there is creation? This creation is a chance given to the conditioned soul how to come to his senses. So the living entity is eternally servant of Krishna, part and parcel. His only business is to satisfy Krishna. So here is a chance. And if you don't take this chance, then again the creation will be wound up. It will be destroyed. Again there will be creation. Again another chance will be given. So this is going on. 8.19 Bhagavad Gita says, Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, right? Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. It is manifested sometimes, maintained for some time, and again destroyed. See, now the original person is Krishna. So to maintain this creation, he expands himself to three. Hari, Virinchi, Hara. Hari means Vishnu, Virinchi means Brahma, and Hara means Lord Shiva. Hari, Virinchi, Hareti, Samyaha. It is Bhagavatam 1:223. See, just like Maya, the philosopher says that, then if Krishna has become Hari, Virinchi, and Hara, three, so I can worship anyone. No. Prabhupada says in that, no, that is not, that is hinted here. That he says in 1:23, it says, Shreyamsi tatar khalu sarvatanor nrinam syuhu. That is, if you want your ultimate goal, then you take shelter of Vishnu. Sattva tanoho, not Shiva, not Brahma. So he clearly says, if you want, right? So because your conditioned life is due to your disobedience to the Supreme Personality of God. That's why you are conditioned. So unless you surrender to him, you again become obedient. Unless you do that, there is no question of a goodness or a good fortune. That is not possible. So Shreyamsi means if you want really ultimate benefit of your life, then Sattva Tanoho means Vishnu. You have to take shelter of this form of the Lord, who is representing Sattva Guna, not the Rajo Guna and the Tamo Guna. So if you take to Rajo and Tamo Guna, then 1:19 says, Tada Rajas Tamo Bhava Kama Lobha Dayasche. Then you will be influenced by two qualities, lust and greed. You will never come to your senses. You will be carried away by these two modes of mental nature. Therefore, they are advised, Shreyamsi Tatar Khalu Sattva Tanor Nirnam Syuhu. Or ultimate benefit rests when you take shelter of the Sattva Tanor. See, while Lord Krishna, with his plenary parts, why should he be given, we should do devotional service to him? See, Krishna and his all are Vishnu Tattvas. See, from Krishna, the next manifestation is Baladeva. Right? So we have seen all this, right? So Vishnu or deity of the quality of goodness in the middle world is Purushavataras, known as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu or Paramatma. So Brahma is the deity of Rajas or passion, and Shiva is for ignorance. So they are three departmental heads of the three qualities of this material world. Creation is made possible by the quality of passion and endeavor, and is maintained by the goodness of Vishnu. And when it is requested to be destroyed, Lord Shiva does it by his Tandava Nritya. So the materialists and the foolish human beings, they do worship Brahma and Shiva respectively. But the pure transcendentalists, they worship the form of goodness, Vishnu, in these various forms. So Vishnu is manifested by his billions and billions of integrated and separated forms. So the integrated forms are called Godhead and the separated forms are called the living entities or the Jivas. So by either the Jivas or Godhead, both of them have their original spiritual forms. This we have to understand. The soul and super soul, eternal, that is spiritual. So the Jivas are sometimes subjected to under the control of material energy. That's the problem. But the Vishnu forms are always under the control of, not under the control, right? So there is a difference between ordinary form and the Vishnu form. Ordinary forms, they are controlled by Vishnu. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman. This is given in Katha Upanishad 2.2.13. So that is the Vedic intention. So when Vishnu or the Supreme Personality of God appears in the middle world, he comes to deliver the conditioned souls. Because we are all under the material energy, right? So such living being appears in the middle world with the intention of lording over material energy. We all, because they want to enjoy separately from Krishna. And thereby become entrapped by what? The three modes of material nature. So the living entities have to change the middle coveries for undergoing different terms of imprisonment. See, the prison house of the middle world is created by Brahma under instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And at the conclusion of a kalpa, the whole thing is destroyed by Lord Shiva. But so far as maintenance of the prison house is concerned, it is done by Vishnu. As much as the state prison house is maintained by the state. So anyone, therefore, who may wish to get out of this prison house, see, everybody wants to get out, right? The prison. So anyone who wishes to get out of this prison house of material existence, which is full of miseries like repetition of birth, death, old age, and disease, what should they do? They must please Lord Vishnu for such liberation. So Lord Vishnu is worshipped by what? Devotional service only. If anyone has to continue the present life in the middle world, then he may ask for some facilities from different demigods, like Lord Shiva, Brahma, Indra, Varuna, for temporary relief. So no such demigods can release the imprisoned living being from the condition of material existence, except Vishnu. So the ultimate benefit may be derived from Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. See, just like one is a prisoner. So if he pleases the superintendent of prison, he can get some facilities. Right? And suppose that person is actually educated, but he's done some wrong, he's in prison. He's educated, and he knows typing and all. But he is asked to do some cutting the stone and all. It is not good in that. But ultimately, the jailer, the superintendent, he sees that this person educated, so I can utilize him for better service. So you will use him for typing some other material or something educated work. But that does not mean he's out of the prison. He's there, but he's given a better facility. That's all. But such facility one can have, but not released from the prison house. And that is not in the power of the superintendent. Similarly, all the demigods, they can give you temporary facility, but they cannot give you relief from this prison. Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna 8.16 Bhagavad Gita. So people are going to heavenly planets. They are going to moon planets. Again coming down. Either by machine or food, they can be transferred to higher planets, but again you have to come back. Kshine Punye Puna Martya Lokam Vishanti. So you cannot get release. If you want to get release, then you have to come to Vishnu. Then you will get release. So if you do not surrender to Hari, then you cannot get release from these four principles of material life. That is birth, death, old age, and disease. You cannot get. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita it is stated, Kamaistaistair Hrita Jnana Yajante Anya Devataha 7.20. Hrita Jnana. Those who have lost their intelligence, they are influenced by their lust and greediness. They worship different demigods to get some material temporary benefit. Therefore, they are called Nashta Buddhi. Because his real problem is how to get off this entanglement of repetition of birth and death. But he doesn't care for that. He thinks, oh, now I am living in this way. I am living in a palatial building. Then my problem is solved. That is not your solution of the problem. That is not the solution. People are very much enamored by this temporary material element, right? Therefore, they are called by Krishna as Nashta Buddhya, Hritagyana. So their actual knowledge is lost. The real thing, that is, see, just like in the jail, right? That one prisoner is getting a better relief because he's given not to cut the stone, at least he's educated, he's given a typing job. But he's there in the prison. So that does not mean his problem is solved. His problem is solved when he's out of the prison. Correct. But that superintendent of the police cannot give that. That will be given by the government. Similarly, if you want to get relief from this prison house of material existence, you must take to Krishna consciousness. Because no other method will relieve us. This is the point to understand. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Just surrender, chant shlokas, recite shlokas, right? See, the Supreme Personality of God is like a lake in which one can take bath. Entering into a lake or river, especially during the hot summer, no, it will relieve us from so much of suffering caused due to heat. We feel very nice, very happy, blissful. So hot, go into the river. In the same way, entering into the lake or river of the Lord's glories, pastimes of Krishna Katha, it will relieve us from the heat caused by the threefold miseries, Adhyatmika, Adibhautik, and Adidevi, called as Tapatrayas, threefold miseries. So while taking bath in the lake, first one experiences that all the dirt on the body is cleansed. After becoming clean, the lake or river water gives him refreshment and joy. So in the same way, discussion of Lord's glories, Bhagavatam, which we're discussing, or taking bath the Lord's glories, right? It removes all the contamination in our mind and we become pure. See, the same lake, river of Lord's glories gives immense joy and fresh experience. Never, always more and more experience, fresh. More you read Bhagavatam, you get more and more realizations. So Bhagavad Puran glorifies the Lord as refreshing and purifying, in which everyone should take bath and attain the ultimate perfection of life. So the example of an elephant who has suffered in a forest fire, who enters into a river for relief, right? If persons who are suffering in the forest of this material existence will only enter into the nectar river of the description of the person of the Lord, then only they will forget all the troubles of the miserable material existence. Very nice point, right, to understand. So in this, I said that there is a Falashruti was ultimately hearing Bhagavatam, associating with devotees, very auspicious. So this is just like going to the river and taking bath when you're very hot summer, right? So you feel very fresh, right? Dirt is removed, you feel fresh and joyful. So now we are hearing is Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. This chapter is going on very nicely, day in and day out. So there is a Falashruti, benefit. We all do. Everybody wants to do something. If I only get benefit, I will do. What is the Falashruti? The 61st verse. Maitreya Muni says, if one hears and again narrates with faith and devotion, this story of Daksha Yajna, as it was conducted by the Supreme Personality of God Vishnu, then certainly one is cleared of all the contamination of material existence, O son of Kuru. So only by this we can clear off all the contaminations, become pure. That is the main purpose. The main purpose of coming for programs is to glorify Krishna, satisfy Krishna, and purify ourselves. Nothing else, no other diversions. So this is the point to understand from these verses. So thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. If you have any questions or anything, share. Please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. Very well said, Prabhuji. Nice examples of lake and superintendent, jailer superintendent, jailer, and also that mela. So very nice examples.
Thank you for your rapt attention. Thank you. Thank you for raptly hearing and absorbing the points so that you can put it into practice, daily practice. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
प्रणाम. Thank you, Revatinam Prabhu. Very good. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhuvaya च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Suresh Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nirmata ji. Hare Krishna. So thank you. I will stop here if you don't have anything. Thank you, Swayambhara Mataji, Archana Mataji, Sindhu Mataji, Swati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद.
वेरी
Hare Krishna.
नाइस प्रभु जी. थैंक यू.
Thank you. जय गुरुदेव की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय. Thank you, VM Bhagwan and Hare Krishna.